Welcome to the Vibes Lab, your front row seat to the science behind VIA, the Vibes AI agentic platform making everyday brain health accessible to all. Every episode is designed to reveal insights that will enhance your cognitive health and well-being. Follow us to grab your lab key and experience limitless intelligence.
You know that feeling, right? 3 p.m. hits, the coffee's definitely worn off.
Oh, yeah. Like a ton of bricks.
Exactly. And those deadlines suddenly feel huge. You're just desperate for like a mental reset button to feel sharp again.
Well, it's interesting because science actually offers a pretty neat solution there. The power nap.
Ah, the famous power nap.
Yeah, those, short little bursts of sleep, like 10, maybe 30 minutes. Research keeps showing they really do restore alertness, boost your cognitive performance.
Better focus, memory, that kind of thing.
Exactly. A real midday brain upgrade. It's kind of remarkable how even that brief rest helps.
Totally. But the trick is actually doing it, isn't it? Falling asleep fast enough and then not waking up feeling, worse.
That is the million-dollar question. And that's where this deep dive gets really interesting. We're looking at how sound therapy might be the key.
Okay, sound therapy. To unlock those power naps. And maybe help with sleep overall, too.
Precisely. We've got some fascinating research here. And, well, our mission today is to figure out how sound uses neuroscience to make rest more efficient, more effective.
All right, let's get into it. So the basics first. How does sound therapy actually help with sleep in general?
Okay, so the main idea is something called brainwave entrainment.
Brainwaves entrainment.
Right. Think of it like this. Your brain has these electrical frequencies, right? Different ones for when you're alert versus when you're relaxed or asleep. Faster beta waves when you're working, slower delta waves in deep sleep.
Okay, different gears for the brain.
Kind of, yeah. And sound therapy, using things like binaural beats or maybe pulsed pink noise, it uses these rhythmic sounds to gently nudge your brainwaves.
Nudge them where?
Towards those slower, more relaxed frequencies. So deep sleep is mostly delta waves. That's like 0.5 to 4 cycles per second. Lighter sleep has more theta waves, 4 to 8 cycles.
So the sound mimics those sleep frequencies.
Exactly. It encourages your brain activity to sync up with the sound. And that can mean falling asleep faster, maybe getting deeper rest. That deep stage is super important for like physical repair.
So anything that helps us get there quicker is a win, like giving the brain a gentle push with sound.
That's a really good way to put it. And there's some pretty solid evidence backing this up.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there was a big review in 2022, a systematic one, looking at pink noise.
Pink noise. That's the one with balanced frequencies, right?
That's the one. They found it improves sleep maintenance, so staying asleep, and also how people rated their sleep quality. In 82% of the studies they looked at.
Wow, 82%. That's pretty significant.
It really is. The thinking is it helps make that slow wave sleep more stable, which, is key for feeling properly rested. A simple sound having that big an effect is quite something.
Definitely. So it's not just about the frequencies then?
No, that's another big part of it. It's also about masking noise.
Right. Blocking out the annoying sounds.
Exactly. Those unpredictable sounds, car horn, dog barking, whatever, they trigger our brain's threat detection, even subconsciously.
Yeah, you jump awake. Especially when you're trying to sleep, everything seems louder.
Totally. So sound therapy provides this steady, consistent sound backdrop. It makes the environment feel more predictable, less likely to suddenly jolt you awake.
Reduces those sudden wake-ups. Makes sense.
There was even a study in hospitals. They used ocean sounds. Patients felt like they fell asleep 38% faster compared to just being in a quiet room.
38%? Just from ocean sounds?
Seems like it. That consistency is calming. I mean, personally, I get that. A predictable sound feels safer, somehow.
Yeah, that's a huge difference. Shows how much environment matters.
It really does. And it goes even deeper to the nervous system.
How so?
Well, stress is a huge sleep killer, right? It ramps up our sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight mode. Heart rate goes up, blood pressure.
Not exactly relaxing.
Not at all. But these repetitive sound patterns in sound therapy, they can actually calm that down. Reduce the sympathetic activity, promote relaxation physiologically.
So it's actively soothing your body, not just your mind.
Precisely. There's this one experiment, kind of interesting. People listen to music tuned to 432 hertz before naps.
432 hertz. Okay.
And they showed more alpha wave activity afterwards. Alpha waves are linked to that state of, like, relaxed alertness.
So calmer even before trying to nap?
Yeah. Now, it didn't consistently make everyone fall asleep faster in that study, but that shift towards relaxation beforehand, that's definitely noteworthy.
Interesting. Sort of setting the stage for better sleep, even if it's not instant knockout drops.
Exactly. And speaking of specific tempos, some controlled trials looked at music around 60 beats per minute.
Like 1 beat per second.
Pretty much.
Mm.
In adults who usually took a long time to fall asleep, that 60 BPM music actually increased their slow-wave sleep duration by about 12%.
12% more deep sleep. That sounds potentially therapeutic, especially for insomnia.
It really suggests that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Careful sound selection could be a real tool.
Okay, so we've got this solid base for sound therapy improving sleep generally. Brainwaves, noise masking, calming the nervous system. Now let's zero in on that original problem, the afternoon slump. How does sound boost the power nap specifically?
Right, the quick fix.
We know power naps, that ideal sort of 10 to 30-minute zone, are good because they avoid deep sleep grogginess, but still boost memory, creativity, reaction time.
Exactly. And sound therapy basically acts like an amplifier for those benefits.
Okay, how?
Well, first off, faster sleep onset. Remember those binaural beats, the 432 hertz music? They can genuinely cut down the time it takes you to nod off during that short nap window.
Making the nap more efficient.
Totally. One study, 2019, I think, found that just a 10-minute sound intervention decreased how long it took sleep-deprived adults to fall asleep by 15%.
15% faster in just 10 minutes. Wow, that could be the difference between actually sleeping and just lying there thinking.
Absolutely. When you've only got 20 minutes, saving 3 or 4 minutes getting to sleep is huge.
For sure. Does it affect the nap quality, too?
It seems so. That leads to the second point. Enhanced cognitive recovery. Research suggests those post-nap boosts in problem-solving or motor skills. They correlate with more theta and delta wave activity during the nap itself.
Ah, so the sound, by encouraging those brainwaves,
Might actually deepen the restorative process. Even in that short time, you potentially wake up feeling more genuinely refreshed.
So the sounds aren't just a lullaby, they're actually influencing the brain's repair work during the nap.
That's the idea. And then there's the stress angle.
Right, you mentioned cortisol earlier.
Yeah, a 2024 analysis linked midday naps with sound therapy to a pretty significant drop in cortisol levels, about 22%.
22% drop in a stress hormone from a short nap with sound.
Seems like it. So it can be a really effective way to manage stress and build a bit more emotional resilience during the day. Makes a strong case for plugging in some sounds during that slump, doesn't it?
It really does. A 22% cortisol drop is quite compelling. Now, you did mention earlier, though, that it's not always a perfect fit for everyone. Individual responses vary.
That's a really crucial point, yes. While the research shows these broad benefits, our own biology, even just our personal preferences, they matter.
So what helps one person might not help another.
Exactly. Like, remember that music designed to boost slow-wave sleep. Great for deep sleepers, maybe. But for a light sleeper, it might actually be disruptive.
Okay, that makes sense.
Or the 432 hertz music, it boosted alpha waves in some people, but not others. It's not universal.
So finding the right sound is key.
It is. And this is where the concept of personalized soundscapes comes in. It's an emerging area.
Personalized sound, how does that work?
Well, some companies, Vibes AI is one example, are exploring ways to tailor the audio, maybe based on physiological feedback from the individual.
Like tracking your brain waves or heart rate?
Potentially, yeah. The goal is to fine-tune the sound therapy to match your specific needs and get the best possible results.
That sounds really promising. Tailored sound for tailored sleep. I think you said Vibes AI even has specific audio for power naps.
They do. Their power nap audio tries to incorporate these principles we've discussed, guiding the brain gently towards those restorative states, quickly and efficiently.
Okay. So wrapping this all up, it really feels like sound therapy is this powerful, non-invasive way to optimize both regular sleep and those crucial power naps.
I think that's a fair summary. It works through multiple channels, right? Brainwave synchronization, masking disruptive noise, actively calming the nervous system.
It's pretty amazing how simple sound can have such complex effects.
It is. So whether you're fighting that afternoon crash or maybe dealing with ongoing sleep troubles, the science really suggests that well-designed audio could make a real difference in how well you rest and recharge.
And it's great to see companies like Vibes AI trying to translate that science into practical tools.
Absolutely. And, this brings up an interesting thought for you listening.
Yeah.
Given that we react differently to sounds, what about your personal preferences? What sounds or sensory experiences do you find intuitively relaxing or conducive to rest?
Like the sound of rain, maybe. or a certain type of music.
Exactly. Or maybe even total silence for some people. How could you maybe start experimenting, combining those personal preferences with some of the scientific ideas we talked about today?
To kind of fine-tune your own sleep or nap routine.
Yeah. It's worth thinking about your own relationship with sound and rest. What works uniquely for you?
Definitely food for thought. Finding your personal soundscape for rest.
And just a reminder, of course, this deep dive is based on the current science, but individual results will vary.
Right. And always best to talk to a doctor if you have serious sleep concerns before changing things up.
Always. Safety first.
And for anyone who wants to dig deeper into the studies we mentioned, we'll make sure citations and further information are available. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.